Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. Later this week, we'll get some new supply-demand numbers from USDA. But a lot is already riding on this year's crop production, with a margin squeeze setting in across farm country. And as Farm Journal's Tyne Morgan reports, those concerns are showing up in the latest Ag Economists Monthly Monitor.
As farmers across the U.S. continue to plant, there's a lot riding on this year's crop, and ag economists are watching closely.
In some cases, relative to the previous month, the responses were a little more positive, but relative to last year, there's still this concern of things are somewhat worse off relative to where we were 12 months ago.
University of Missouri ag economist Scott Brown helps author the Ag Economists Monthly Monitor. And while this month's monitor didn't produce much change in net farm income expectations or the overall ag economic situation, economists are watching an eroding net farm income picture on farms this year.
One of the biggest concerns by far is this margin squeeze. I mean, when you really start looking at 24 budgets, I think the word I would use is ugly.
Dr. Michael Langemeyer is one of 70 ag economists surveyed in the monthly monitor. He also helps author Purdue University's Ag Economy Barometer each month.
It looks as bad as 19, maybe even slightly worse.
The April Ag Economists Monthly Monitor, though, also asked a question about the risk of consolidation in the row crop side of ag.
Almost resoundingly, they said yes.
In the April Monthly Monitor, economists were asked if the current environment of declining commodity prices and high input costs accelerate consolidation in row crop operations and allied industries, and nearly 80% said yes.
When you think about we're headed to what's likely a period of tighter margins, I think the economists were saying, hey, that just is going to make this competition to get bigger to try to offset some of the tighter margins work in their operations.
Economists point out geographies at the greatest risk of consolidation are the Great Plains, Corn Belt, and Southeast Cotton Belt. Economists also think the size of an operation matters.
The response was smaller operations are going to struggle. Those maybe more highly leveraged are going to struggle. Operations are going to look to grow to try to offset what are going to be tighter margins. That seemed to be kind of the overwhelming response that we saw from the economists.
Economists in the monthly monitor also say anywhere that has high cash rents or land ownership is scarce are at the greatest risk of consolidation. And Langemeyer says another driving factor of possible growing consolidation could be ag tech.
One of the questions we asked on the barometer that's going to be released in May, do you primarily buy used or new machinery? And there's a bunch of people say they buy used machinery. So guess what? They're behind the technology curve, and to the extent that this precision agriculture technology, artificial intelligence, digital agriculture, the extent that all of these things are profitable, at least are potentially profitable, there's going to be a segment that's left behind.